Thank you for inviting us to participate in today's Solution Showcase. My name is Rob Ramsey. I am the Director of Application Development at Next Generation Logistics. Today, I will talk to you about how our Dynamics TMS software can add value to your 365 finance and supply chain ERP solution. Who is NGL? NGL is comprised of three divisions: TMS Software Solutions, fully managed outsourced transportation services, supply chain consulting. Dynamics TMS adds value in many ways, including integrated order-to-cash transportation solution for sales orders, purchase orders, transfer orders, accruals, freight bill auditing, and payment tracking. Increased visibility and communication capabilities are leveraged via multiple collaboration partners, such as DAT, PC Miler, PC Rail, P44, EDI, APIs, AI, telematics, etc. We provide KPIs for customer and carrier on-time performance. Automation, integration, and load tracking is supported via our NextTrack and NextStop collaboration portals. These are accessible to external carriers and customers via our independent user security profiles. Our software-oriented architecture utilizes SOAP and REST technologies and follows industry standards for security. Now it's time for a quick demo. In Dynamics 365, we begin by setting up options in the Dynamics TMS module. You can see that there are lane, booking, carrier, company, pick worksheet, payments, purchase worksheet, tracking information, as well as many parameters and configuration settings that can help you to configure the system the way you would like to see it work. Our pick worksheet and our purchase worksheet have extensions that link into your accounting system, into your warehouse management system, and the load planning workbench. Sales orders, purchase orders, and transfer order screens have been extended to include key TMS shipping data like PRO numbers, shipment ID numbers, mode of delivery, delivery dates, and ship dates. When data is modified in the TMS system, it is synchronized with the sales order screens, the purchase order screens, and the transfer order screens to show the corresponding data. In this case, you will see that there is a carrier PRO number assigned with the same as the shipment ID number. This is the default if you're not using an algorithm to calculate the carrier PRO number. Once the algorithm is active, it will populate this. You can also enter the separate carrier PRO number manually if so desired. To release the information to synchronize with TMS, you click on the Confirm Sales Order option. Click OK. OK. Now this can be configured to run automatically for electronic integration, or it can be done manually as I'm showing you now. When orders come into the TMS system, they go to the load board. The load board is where the traffic managers make decisions on how to route loads. You'll see that we have a very sophisticated filtering system. Each user can create their own filters and manage them and reload them at any time. Here's the order from 36, and here is a purchase order. Once orders are ready, we can click on the rated option in the action menu. And the rated option gives you several choices. You can pick a spot rate, which is something that you coordinate with your carriers and just enter a spot rate. You can post the loads to DAT and wait for a bid. DAT is a public internet truck stops portal that all carriers that subscribe to that service can post bids. NextStop is part of our collaboration portal, and only the carriers you configure will have access to post bids. You can also do comparison between the bids that are posted on NextStop and DAT with the bids that are available through API and through tariffs. Today we're just going to be using the tariff rates. We'll click Rate It to continue. Notice how we have different cost structures available to us. BAH is the lowest cost carrier, so we're going to select them. This is your dispatch screen. You can review the data before you dispatch it. You can make changes here. Most of the information, as you'll notice, is populated automatically. So all you have to do is review this information, select how you want to dispatch it, how it's going to be accepted. If you're using EDI, you want to send a 204 and get a 990 accept back. But in today's demo, we're going to do this manually, and we're going to automatically accept the load on behalf of the carrier. Dispatch. When the load is dispatched to the carrier and they accept the load, you'll get a report back, which you can print. And you also have an optional bill of lading. Now you can turn the bill of lading on or off, depending on if you want to use the TMS bill of lading, if you want to use your own custom bill of lading, or some other form of bill of lading. Once orders have been accepted by a carrier, they'll drop off of this screen, and they're available for shipping from the sales order. And the sales order would go in and dispatch the load. We get a ship confirmation back to TMS. The ship confirmation then goes back to the pick worksheet. So here's a pick worksheet. And you can see here's an example of a sales order that came back from the pick worksheet after it was dispatched, and an accrual was created. The accrual is generated based on our expected cost. You can configure whether it auto posts or just generates the accrual. In this case, we auto posted it, and you can see the details of the accrual on how it was generated. After the load is shipped and delivered, the carrier can enter a freight bill. Now, typically, a freight bill is entered through a 210 EDI, but it can also be entered manually through the settlement page. Now, this is part of the NextTrack portal. You see more tabs here because I'm a super user, but our role-tailored client allows configuration for each user, so you can configure this so that the carriers can only see their pages. So in this case, we're looking at a freight bill here for this purchase order, and if we click edit, we can enter the invoice number, we can enter a bill of lading number, edit the fuel, add accessorial charges, and we can submit the freight bill for payment. When a freight bill is submitted for payment, it goes through an audit process, and TMS does a comparison against what I expected to pay and what I was billed. If it passes tolerance, and there's lots of configuration, you can add tolerances by fuel, you can add tolerances by accessorials, you can add tolerances for the entire shipment. If any of those fail, it will not pass the audit and has to be approved by a person in the organization before it can be sent for payment. But once it is approved, it goes into the purchase invoice worksheet. Here's an example of an invoice that went to the purchase invoice worksheet. If you scroll across to the end, you can see that this invoice was generated and it's marked as paid. So we're going to go take a look at this. See that it was posted. When the invoice is posted, then it automatically will reverse the accrual and balance out the account. You can see all of the different ledger postings here associated with this particular shipment. Then it is marked as paid, and it goes back to TMS. The TMS then provides visibility to the carrier through the web portal onto the settled page, where they can see if their invoice here has been paid or if it's still pending. So if I look at this and we go to, let's look for check number. Here's some check numbers. Now the check number is just a term. It can be a voucher, however you pay this, it will come across, and you can see that the paid date. So this allows the carrier to do some self-service and allows them to minimize the contact with customer service, so they don't have to call up and say, hey, did you guys pay my freight bill? They have access to this through the portal. We hope you found our presentation on Dynamics TMS helpful today. If you would like more information, please contact us. Thank you and have a great day.